Welcome to Deep Dive Daily.
Good morning. And hey, how was your weekend?
Very, very chill.
Awesome.
Like, I had a lot of stuff I wanted to get done, just didn't do it. Couldn't do it. It was just too nice. It was like, what if I lay in a lawn chair? What if I lay in my hammock? What if we go to the park and I bring a lawn chair to the park and I just read a book while kids play? And what if I just hung out in the garden a bunch? It was just way too. It is the perfect. It is 6/2. I have the date wrong. What are you gonna do? Oh no, Brad! What? Fuck! You can't watch
This
that.
is June.
This is June. Yeah, June snuck up on my ass.
Yeah.
This is the last week of school for the kids. It's feeling like hot dogs on the grill, some baseball.
Summer is in the air. Summer is in the air.
Oh God. Not to get gross right away, but the whole asparagus thing.
Yeah.
You know, I've never really experienced the side effects of asparagus.
It's genetic, whether you can tell or not.
Well, no, the making your pee stink.
Yeah, you either have a gene that you can smell it or you don't.
Well, I think it's been.
I think it's 1 in 4 have the gene.
I think it's just been like I eat asparagus, but but just like a normal serving of asparagus. Well, like this garden I planted with asparagus, it's finally in its like 3rd or 4th year. So I'm pulling like 10 or 12 stalks a day, Drew, for like 2 weeks. So I've been at 100%. One day I went to the bathroom, I'm like, oh my God, I've been eating just too much. So
too much asparagus.
I did look it up. Yeah, I got a not parboil. What's it called? A blanch. Blanch it, and then you can freeze it. I got to do it because at this point now
too much.
It's a problem.
Too much.
It is a problem.
Yeah,
so good, fresh.
Save it for soup season, man. Yeah, there's a lot of good
cream of asparagus soup. That's very good. I might throw some more on the grill tonight.
That's great, dude. I love it. It's great grilled. Okay. It was a very chill weekend here. Summer is very in the air. It was like full 2 beach days for me, back to back, Saturday, Sunday. Great times here. Did a lot of vacation planning for the summer. So basically, like, I would try to like do things, kind of fill in the weekend so that it just doesn't turn into just a morass of what are we going to do this weekend? Let's just go to the beach. You actually like plan stuff, then it breaks it up a little bit. So we did a lot of planning for the summer. Got trips to all around California figured out now, which is sick. Going to Hawaii at the end of the summer, which is I'm excited about. It's gonna be a good summer. And speaking of good, we are in the midst of a very, very good French Open. Roland Garros delivers every year, but this year it is set up for week 2 that will be all time. These quarterfinals, fucking sick. These potential semifinal matchups, fucking sick. There was some great round 4 matchups, warm-ups yesterday. Like Iga Rybakina, that could have been a women's final. That was so good. I don't know if you slept through it, but Paolini, Svitolina. Oh my God, Svitolina saves several match points on the way to winning that tiebreak and ultimately coming back and winning 2-1. Heart of a champion, man. Oh my goodness, Gem's life. That was awesome.
Gem's life. Well, and it's funny too because I love golf, but Sepp was kind of there. I didn't have a lot of horses in the race.
What do you get? Second or
third? I ended up watching quite a bit of tennis and quite a bit of women's softball. The world, the World Series. It's crazy watching how how they play at that level.
Anyone going to touch the Sooners? I don't think so.
The Sooners were in an elimination game yesterday.
Oh, were they?
They had to beat. I did.
Right?
So maybe you guys don't know me. I'm gonna open it up a little bit here. Happily married for 15 years, but I have a huge heart, and I fall in love once a week with somebody on the TV. I fell in love, and I've already planned our life together with this Sooners pitcher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was she the one that they put up on the graphic side by side with Jenny Finch? That was a throwback.
I don't know. I didn't see that part, but she has these cute little glasses she wears, and she's slight. She's just slight. So all these other pitchers are just like they're stomping and snorting and every pitch. Oh my God. The pitcher last night from Oregon, every time she caught the ball back, she'd walk halfway to second. She should have had her step counter on. She was getting 1,000 steps in. And my adorable Sam.
Sydney Sanders, Sydney with a C.
No. She was good, but
she's a batter. My bad.
Sam, yeah, I think she had 2 home runs last night.
KD.
I know it is creepy now that I'm 40, I guess, Arthur. I'm sorry, but I still fall in love. But no, the pitcher from Oregon's walking 20 miles. This other girl, my girl, just catches the ball just very nonchalant about it, going about her business. Nasty changeup. I mean, these are like the best of the best, and it's crazy how stupid a girl can look swinging at this changeup. You see it in baseball too. When there's a really good changeup and they aren't prepped, it's such a short time span, and you start swinging and you realize like I'm off by like a full quarter of a second here. This is going to look silly on tape. So
I dig it.
So softball's been fun, but yeah, back to tennis.
I'm pretty sure you're talking about Sam Landry, just so that we give her some run. She is she's a transfer from the Louisiana Raging Cajuns to the Oklahoma Sooners, and she was your winning pitcher yesterday in the elimination game where they won 4-1 over the Oregon Ducks. So 58-2 on the season for the Sooners. Pretty good work by them. Number 2.
Four-time defending. They got to go. So they're in the weird spot where. And anyone who's never watched this or the World Series of college baseball, you have that like it's a semifinal, but
it's a double elimination, right?
Yeah. So the team that wasn't in the elimination game, which I believe is Texas Tech or Texas, one of the Texas teams, they just have to win and they go to the finals. Oklahoma has to win, and then that forces a second game. So they have to beat them twice, which is very interesting when it comes to pitching strategy. Because if you're that second team or even the good team, you got to think about what if there's a second game? What are we doing? Especially for Oklahoma, who just had both their good pitchers throw yesterday. So interesting stuff tonight. We don't have all the quarterfinals set for tennis quite yet. But...
Well, real quick before moving off of softball entirely, did you know that they're doing softball in the 2028 Olympic Games? That's coming back. And for some reason, I found this surprising. For some reason, they don't have a softball stadium, or they don't feel like there's. I mean, obviously, there's UCLA has a softball stadium. USC is.
I was going to say they're one of the best teams,
but apparently not good enough to host the Olympics there. So they're doing the softball venue in Oklahoma City. Did you know
that's where this tournament is today?
But
it's not.
Why?
It's
why
not LA. So
no,
LA is sprawling, but it does not spill over into the
Oklahoma. No,
and both people, some people, Patrick and the half are making good. Yeah, the overhand motion that a pitcher does is so much more taxing on your shoulder and your arm, your elbow. These girls can pitch day in and out. You know, it's still tiring though.
Incredible,
and it's mentally taxing.
It is. So yeah, you're right now in your winners bracket. Texas and Tennessee are head to head. In your losers bracket, Texas Tech and Oklahoma are head to head. So we are getting down to the end here. The tennis matchups though. We should circle back and talk about some actual handicapping here. You want to start women or men?
Men. Is there some value on the American against Musetti? 4.5, 5 games, something like that.
I really
feels like for him to cover, he needs. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't feel like for him to cover, he needs to win a set. I think.
I guess here's my general thought. I'm running a little too good right now.
Yeah.
So like something's gonna.
Don't think like that.
The shoe's gonna. The worm always turns.
It doesn't. You don't know when.
No, but
it might be 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, the only
trust your shit, Drew.
I will
not accept this.
My biggest skin of any of the quarter prices I got was Musetti, and it's by a lot, so I kind of care. And I'm excited. I was way dialed into that matchup against Holger Rune yesterday. Vitus Snodskov Rune. I think that's his name. I'm a little nervous because Tiafoe is a He's a slam player. Like he brings a different quality of tennis to these best of 5 matches, and he's an endurance man. He's going to go the distance. He's not going to give up. Taking the plus games is one option, but you know what I think is the even a better option? Over. This is the kind of matchup that I think could easily spill into 5 sets, and despite being kind of clearly favoring the Italian here. There's a
like
over
42?
36.5 available right now at minus 102. I love. So give me some over in that one.
Yeah, my guess was way off. Jesus.
I would think you're closer to correct, personally. I think that's closer. But I do think Musetti comes through. I'm hopeful. I do think Alcaraz very clearly comes through. That Tommy Paul is done well to get to this point, but like Tommy, this happens every fucking time. Like he gets to this point and then just gets steamrolled.
Well, it's one thing if he were going up against Zverev or even Musetti, like. It'd be like, oh
Alcaraz
man,
has been making meals of his matches. He is.
Well, that's the thing. He's going.
Yeah.
This is worst case scenario for. Hey, this is where he usually hits his head, and this is the guy with the biggest hammer.
Yeah, that's a very good way to say it. I think.
Like this total should be like 31, right?
Yeah, I guess Tommy Paul certainly has and again Alcaraz dropped a set to Zoomer, double D. Took a set on Alcaraz. Good
Zoomer.
Lord, guy! Like he wasn't even healthy. He was terrible out there. He took a
name
set.
that country.
Is it
Kazakhstan?
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the Bosnian bomb. BIH. That's right. You learn about their flag at the same time that it was the Croatian or the Bosnian conflict of the early 90s. That's a throwback to when we were young. I remember learning. They invented all those flags on the fly.
Explaining that when we were young. Oh my god! Just a quick aside. Have you seen the film RRR?
No.
Oh really? It's good.
Mm.
So it's like Point Break, except set in India during the revolution, and there's no surfing.
What?
That's the best way to explain RRR for sure.
Okay.
But so like I'm trying to. I had my 10-year-old loves it because we've watched it like half dozen times, and it's over 3 hours. It's a long movie.
So it's guys. The guys dress as ex-presidents and rob banks.
No. It also doesn't have that part. It's more about the revolution. There's a fight with a tiger. That part's good. Either way, so it's set in pre-independent India, and it's good. I like this movie. But
I'm in a totally different direction, which was we were talking about Gene Hackman in the chat last week, and
I know. I'm trying to explain.
Enemy Lines came up, which was the best piece of popular content about the Balkan conflict.
I know. I'm just trying to explain colonialism to a 10-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Why are these guys fighting? Well, they came and kind of took over their homes, and they're not super keen on this right now, and it looks like it's all coming to a head during this film.
Okay.
Also, yeah, and it's a bunch of actors you've never, you don't know because we don't watch Bollywood, but there is the blonde Nazi doctor from Last Crusade is in this film.
Oh, really? I thought she was a one-offer. I didn't know.
She may be.
Okay.
I had to look it up. I'm like, how do I know this person? Finally, I figured it out, and with IMDb, I didn't really check the rest of her filmography, but yeah, Elsa
Schneider, Dr. Schneider. Yeah. Who played who was that actress? Anyway, we're way off topic here.
Bublik Draper.
Draper smashes. Draper smashes. Sinner, I think, comes through cleanly. Draper Sinner would be a fucking banger of a quarterfinal. Excited for that. It looks like Djokovic Zverev is going to be a pretty good quarterfinal. I think Zverev is probably a bet on in that one. Actually, he's playing a hell of a lot better than he was 2 weeks ago. Whatever that day he got ill and threw up 36 times. that apparently got whatever out of his system that he needed to get out so he could play good tennis, because he's been a lot better at the French Open than anywhere else entire calendar so far this year. I got to ask you, though, a question about this. You heard that story, right?
Yeah.
How many times do you throw up and then you stop counting? Because like 36
like
is a really
5.
specific number, right? And it
Well,
might have been
and the thing is, anything after 5 is dry
kind of
heave.
where I was
That's
at
dry
too. You're sure there's nothing
Those
left.
aren't.
Yeah,
Those
or you're putting
just,
water in and you're just throwing the water back up, right?
Well,
Like,
and
it's
after
back
a
up.
while, you realize like I can't keep anything down. I'm going to quit trying.
Yeah,
because throwing up sucks.
Yeah, but like, so we can all agree he's lying about the number, right? He was lying about the number of times.
It's not the first time he's lied about how something went down.
That's a good point. But yeah, I heard you hear that and you're like, for your first thought is, well, why did you play? Why did you go out there? And he really just did it so he could tell the story that only he and one other player on tour would have gone out there that day and tried to play through it. He, of course, was referring to Djokovic, who he will be playing in the next match, which is funny. Yeah.
What's your fare there, or not? What's your fare? What do you think the odds are there?
I think the market's going to be Djokovic minus 180. Favorite?
Oh, really? That big? I was thinking 140, 150.
He's getting a lot of market respect.
He's played well. I mean, he's looked good.
Yes.
It doesn't take. It's one of those where
tested yet, really though.
Yeah, I know, but it's one of those where it's still him, no matter how old he is, and if he puts it on paper or if he puts it on film, he plays well enough. It's like it's really quick to just flip on him, I suppose. Like, it's Joker.
Like it's easy to flip on and believe he's going to do something in this tournament because he's not really going deep into these matches. And usually, when you know that the fade is coming for Joker, it's when he's like going, these 4 or 5 hour matches. You just know he's not going to be able to get across the finish line later in the tournament. That just hasn't happened. He's been late work. Boom, 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 boom.
He knows
so that's a good sign. That's a good sign for him. That said, I think I'm going to need a price like plus 140 or better to bet Zverev. If it's closer to pick him, I'm probably just going to sit on the sidelines. I think I would prefer. I have Sinner futures, obviously. I think I would prefer Djokovic. Not because I'm afraid of Zverev at all, but I would prefer Djokovic because I feel like that market might actually be really bettable for Sinner. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like the Djokovic is getting so much respect. If he beats Zverev, you might get a price to play Sinner in that Djokovic-Sinner match. And I'll never get out of my head how thoroughly Sinner undressed Djokovic at the Australian Open 2 years ago. It was like, oh, Sinner may never lose to this player ever again in his life. Like, that was the degree of defeat that he leveled
on a better surface.
In his house. That was a pretty shocking result. So I kind of want a chance to take on Djokovic with the Sinner bet. And by the way, after that defeat in the Australian Open semifinals, 6-1, 6-2. 7-6 for Djokovic, 6-3. So it wasn't clean win, but he came back and he got him that same year at the Shanghai Masters finals in straight sets. So I think Sinner has the goods to get to take him down pretty convincingly. So excited to get that.
Women, we do have all. Oh, yeah,
Draper's.
We do have all 4 quarterfinals set on the women's side.
I don't even know.
They're all kind of big. It's like Sabalenka has a chance to lose that. Like,
I don't think so. You're talking about Zhang?
Yeah, she can. It's not a great matchup stylistically, I guess, but she can lose that. And Iga. So let's talk about that one first. Let's talk about that one first.
Sabalenka, you ready?
Yes.
Sabalenka, for me, that price should be around minus 400. So I think it's bettable.
Like minus 300.
It's bettable for Sabalenka, in my opinion.
Sure.
Sabalenka is 6-1 head-to-head against Zhang. The sequence is important, though, since it was 6 straight, and then she finally lost last month on clay in Rome, right? And so it's pretty. It will be a convenient kind of recency bias for people in the market to be like, well, clearly Zhang solved her finally at long last. You could beat her 6 times. You can't beat her 7. But the match in particular was, I remember watching it, and it was a straight sets win for Zhang. But I thought it was pretty clear that like just the high leverage points bounced in her favor disproportionately in that matchup. Sabalenka produced 5 break chances. Zhang saved all 5. Like, that's not happening again. Zhang's serve is very, very, very breakable right now. Ludmila Samsonova had no problem taking her down, taking her serve down yesterday. I think Sabalenka is going to make relatively light work of that. And in fact, the big takeaway from yesterday's match is honestly like a 2.5-hour match for Svitolina, a 3-hour match for Zhang, a 2.5-hour match for Iga, and then Sabalenka comes through in hour and a half. Like, that's huge. Like, I think Sabalenka just goes to the finals now based on the fact that there's been less damage done, surely. So I think Sabalenka wipes the floor with Zhang personally. Zhang Xinwen.
Zhang Xinquang.
And I think the play there is Sabalenka minus the games, -4 you can get right now at -112, -4.5 you can get at +110. I would take the -4.5 +110. I think Sabalenka comes through pretty cleanly. Like, if Zhang wins a set, it's going to be 7-6, and then she could just airmail like 6-1 after that or 6-0 after that, and I think that gives you a pretty clean cover for the game spread for Sabalenka. And like, if Zhang covers the 4.5, it's like literally a 6-4 win for Sabalenka or something like that. So I'm probably just going to play the money line, but 4.5 games looks good to me as well. The Iga Svitolina match is probably just going to be Iga.
It's about the same price as the other quarter.
I think that one's great. I think that price is fair. I watched a lot of the Iga Rybakina match, and my major takeaway was Iga escaped certain death in that second set. Like, Rybakina had her on the ropes, dead to rights, upper break, easy put away to go up 2 breaks, if I remember correctly, which is basically just, this is just over. She hits it into the net. She doesn't pull the break out, and then she ended up with 11 or 12 break chances on the day in total, and only got like the 3 or 4. So Iga was very, very much in extreme peril. She saved 10 out of 14 break chances. Yeah. Meanwhile, she only got 8 and converted 4 against Rybakina. And now Rybakina, I thought, was playing some of the best tennis we've seen from her this year. And she just ran out of gas in that third set. She didn't have the endurance. She hit the wall. And she started doing lousy, sloppy tactics instead of just playing her tennis. And it was obviously not good enough to get across the finish line. So she loses 7-5 in the third, and it's over. I don't think Iga comes through that as like this now battle-hardened player. Like, I don't think you come away from that and say, oh, she's overcome adversity. She's even more dangerous now. And Svitolina did defeat Iga head-to-head at Wimbledon 2 years ago when Iga was literally at the peak of her powers. So I think there's still a chance. And I'm a Svitolina long shot price holder for winning the second quarter. So it would be awesome if she does get this thing across the finish line. But not super hopeful. I make her chances in the 30% range.
If she wins the first set, will you buy off some?
Big time.
Buy off.
Big time.
Then you take Iga like -120 and
big time. Every Svitolina match has been guts in a blender. I don't know how she's doing that.
Look at what time that one's on.
Everyone. She played Bondar. That was nails close. She played. She's had a couple of just really, really, really close calls. I don't know why I didn't think to pull this up, but yeah, the Paolini match was insane. But yeah, if Iga drops the first set, I'm doing some ejecting. And also, if you liked Iga at +300 or whatever to win the tournament,
yeah,
you could have just bet her at like 10-1 to win her 4th round match when she was down, and then you're already home. Iga's path from here, like if she was going to pull off the impossible, in my opinion, and defeat all of these very, very, very good women in a row, she was going to need to do it.
Sabalenka, and then
Yeah. Dude, Boyson has got some freaking like bodybuilder
beating Pegula like that was always in her
world?
Distribution of results. I think she's like it's almost Poisson.
It's a Poisson distribution.
Yeah.
It's a Poisson distribution.
Better. Something like basketball points. Andriva Boyson, I have no idea because I've seen this other girl play like once ever. So
Andriva and Goff are on a collision course for the semis.
Yeah.
Not in the Keys.
I don't know. This isn't the old Keys.
Not stopping it. It's not stopping it. She's not stopping it. She's not stopping her. Coco versus Andriva collision course, in my opinion. Svitolina had a battle on her hands against Bernarda Pera. Bondar was tough for her. Paolini was a marathon. Yeah. I think Sabalenka is coming through on the top pretty cleanly now. And I think Coco likely on the bottom, but maybe Mira. And either way, it's going to be a really, really, really close final, I think. So basically, this is a long way of saying I have no fucking idea who wins the Women's French Open right now. No idea. There are 8 very, very, very reasonable candidates who could win, who are still alive, which is fucking awesome. I think everyone who I had in the mix to win this before we started the tournament is still alive, which is crazy that we are this deep. We are this deep into. Okay, I take it back. I had 8 women in the mix, and there are 7 of them that are still alive. I did not have Louise Boisson.
Yeah.
So of the
shame on you for that.
Of the 8 who are left, 7 of them were in my mix. Pegula was the only one who I thought was in the mix that did not get here. So we were close to 8 for 8, honestly. But I have no clue who wins from this point. Men's, I still think we're on collision course for Sinner Alcaraz, and I have Sinner at the price I got. But his path is actually tougher. Alcaraz has got an easier path. Massetti getting home in the third quarter would make my French Open, honestly. So that's all I really care about. Over. Let's talk. We'll talk some Stanley Cup finals. We'll talk some NBA finals later this week. We got a lot.
Yeah, there's essentially, you have to watch softball tonight if you want to watch sports. There's no basketball game. There's no hockey game. There's not even a WNBA game today.
Do they take Mondays off every week, or just weird scheduling this week because of the Commissioner's Cup?
I think it's a weird scheduling blip where we just don't have anything. You have tennis, you have softball.
I think the Commissioner's Cup is fucking up the WNBA schedule. But
we do have college baseball too.
I'll tell you what, your links look pretty good, man. 7-0.
It does feel like the finals is just going to be last year's finals.
Lynx libs, yeah.
And maybe the refs let them play this year. Just handing New York another title. Good job,
Fingers crossed, man.
I do have one question for you because you camp a little bit more than me.
Oh, hit me.
We camped outside.
This weekend, by the way. Camping on Saturday.
I think I am too.
Big Bear. I can't wait.
So I camped, and it was like, hey, the ground is hard.
Look at us camping.
I don't remember the ground being that hard when I was younger. So I ordered a sleeping pad. Small, light, easily backpacked.
Yes.
How do they work? It just inflates itself.
Yeah, you twist open the nozzle.
You twist open and it just inflates itself.
Yeah.
Baffling.
That's
how
pretty
that
cool.
works.
Don't forget to close the nozzle before you sleep on it, or else you'll squeeze all of the air.
Yeah. You got to close. I laid on it inside. It was very cool. But you just open it up and it inflates itself. Do not understand how that works. There's no mechanism. It's something there's some physics going on. I need an engineer, a smarter engineer who knows about this sort of thing to kind of fill me in on what's going on here.
Smarter than me.
We're going to dig in. We're going to dig in on this. But my God.
I'm not a materials engineer.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to get me excited. And that got me excited. I was pretty pumped about that. The thing just blows itself up. So, all right.
Where are you going camping?
Oh, this is just we're going to. There's some state forest behind the house.
Okay,
There's
cool.
camp. We're gonna
Cool.
keep it close to start,
Cool.
within walking distance.
You
of the
taking
house.
guns and to do hunting for dinner and stuff and no.
Maybe we'll do some
Fishing?
snaring.
Fishing? Snaring?
There's a river right nearby. I could just fish in the river.
Okay.
I think
Live
just
live
pack
off the
some food.
land. Get yourself ready for the apocalypse. I like it.
I do have a flint. It was like, hey, if you spend like $8 more, you get free shipping on this, and shipping was enough where it was whatever, it was worth it. So I ordered a flint thing. So I have a flint and a striker. So I might like peel some sticks and make some fluff or whatnot. Find a bird's nest or something on the ground,
Yeah.
and get start without a lighter. What if we really roughed it?
Oh, I like this. This is good.
So,
I'm doing the opposite. We're glamping effectively in Big Bear. So
yeah.
driving in.
Here.
Yeah. No TV, but maybe now I'm freaking out. Am I gonna have signal to watch the women's final on Saturday?
You'll figure it out.
I better. It's gonna be an all-timer, man. This week, the French Open this week, just absolutely, just spectacular. What a week! Cannot wait. They get the whole week to themselves too. It's awesome. Let tennis shine. Phenomenal.
All right, guys. Well, some hockey tomorrow. We'll see you guys. Have a good Monday. If you're a material engineer, tell us how it works.
Magnets. How do they work?
How do they work?